Hi, I'm Debbie Noe, and I am responding to prompt EDAD 766A on the C spell 4A. So how do I create a culture of trust and mutual respect so that staff and parents and families feel supported in sharing diverse thinking, ideas, and problems? And let me start by saying we have just finished our school year, the 2020-2021 school year, in the midst of a pandemic. And so it has been very difficult to connect with families during this time and to really create that culture of trust. So we have still worked, and I have still worked to create that information, to create that trust and that connection with our families. I tried to reach out during various ways. I did a student morning huddle in the morning where I connected with all students at all grade levels, but well, they were all welcome to come. They did not all come, unfortunately, but parents were involved in that as well and welcome to attend in the morning, just like we would have done actually physically on campus. I also try to gather information from staff and families during our parent coffees. We originally, during school, in-person school, had those in the morning. And so we moved those to the evening via Zoom, which I think our parents really liked because they were able to attend more easily after their work hours. We still did staff and family surveys. I'm always willing to have one-on-one conversations. I have parents who email me or reach out through Parent Square, which is our parent connection. And I always make sure that I respond to those emails. And once school actually went back in person during our hybrid learning, I tried to always be available during student drop-off times so that I was out and accessible and parents could come up and talk to me if needed, and also during pickup times at the end of the day. So if they wanted to speak to me then, they saw me and I was visible, and it made communication a little bit easier. Again, with the COVID policies and procedures in place, that was a little more difficult to do well this year, but we still definitely made an attempt. The next question, what steps do you take or will you take to ensure that all stakeholders' voices have been heard? So when we have surveys, we definitely have our office staff try to reach out to families during pickup and drop-off time. We often will have them staged out in that pickup line with iPads so that parents sitting in their car and waiting can take the surveys. Anytime a parent comes into the office, we do the same thing, trying to make sure that we have hit as many parents as possible. I always try to reach out to teachers and see if they've heard anything from parents, so that if parents are more comfortable speaking with the teacher, at least I'm getting that info relayed to me that way. With surveys with our staff, I try to, again, we send them out via email, and then I try to honor their time and bring that time into our morning huddle and let them know, okay, we're going to stop for 5 minutes right now, and everybody, please pull up the survey. I'll put the link in the chat so that they are able to pull it up right then and there. And I do the same thing in person, like bring your computer this morning to huddle. We're going to stop for 10 minutes and everyone's doing the survey, so that we make sure that they do have a time to take it and get it done, and that we're hearing as many voices as possible. So a strategy that I've used to resolve a problem this year is definitely around re-entry, and there were a lot of hiccups with that. And what I realized afterward was we didn't plan it at all, really. Like, we just assumed that teachers would know what to do, and specifically around our Friday intervention with re-entry, we really didn't plan it. We just figured teachers would communicate out to their families, and it seemed overwhelming to me, and I just figured teachers would know what to do, and not wanting to micromanage them, we didn't plan it, very simply. And so we realized that Friday morning, with that first Friday morning, when there were all kinds of questions that we ourselves had and couldn't answer, and realized that we had really dropped the ball. So we made it through that first Friday, and then that Monday, instant debrief. Like, let's talk about what we did wrong, what were the problems that came up, and what we could do better for next time. We didn't spend a ton of time debriefing it, but just enough to really wrap our head around how many different areas we struggled in with regards to that one activity. And so we used the rest of our time that day to sort of develop an outline for a plan to use with future events. And then the next time we had a big event, which was rolling out our map testing for our students, we took the time to really dive into that plan, which was to identify necessary or available resources to identify all of the potential pitfalls and then to assign whose lane that was in. So who was responsible for that? And then everyone dispersed, created their plan, and came back together, and we debriefed it together. So it was immensely better. And so I really learned that keeping things simple is essential. The problem was I kept it simple for me, not because I was selfishly not wanting to be bothered, because I really wasn't sure what to do. And so I need to keep things simple for my stakeholders, which means a lot of work on my end and really taking the time to plan out what are all the potential pitfalls. Again, what are the available resources that we have and who can be assigned to each of these things so one person isn't creating this mammoth plan, right, and not able to do it well when we've had 6 people on our leadership team. So I really learned the value of planning and thinking about the perspectives of all of the stakeholders, whether it be staff or families, and how to best and most clearly communicate and keep things simple for them, and then to be available after. Thank you.